Okay, good day, students. Welcome to the online tutorial for your 100 level general courses. Today, we'll be looking at GNS 101 Introduction to Library Studies. Okay, so we'll be understanding what a library is and then the types of library that we have and how they are categorized. So, a library generally is where books are being stored or recorded, documents, non-books materials are being kept for access to readers or people who are actually interested in it. Okay, so before the library was established, uh, human do keep record through oral tradition, through folk laws and stories like that, and on the back of trees. Now we have three major period in the history of library. So we have the ancient period, we have the medieval period, and we have the Renaissance period. In the ancient period, we have the Sumerians who have a clay slate books where they put record of writings and so on. And then we have the Egyptians also who had a very big library at Alexandria. And you can also remember that papyrus, that is what is now being innovated to paper today, was actually the idea of the Egyptians. Okay, and then we have the Greek. The Greek too were highly intellectual, and also they also had record. And until the Romans came to, uh, you know, submerge the Greek, and so the Romans came, submerged the Greek, and took out of their academic works. Okay, so that is for the ancient period. Then we have the medieval period, where in this period libraries were called monastic libraries in the medieval period. The third period is the Renaissance period, and this Renaissance period was the period of great development and change with the invention of the printing machine. And so today we have seen development in libraries. Okay, so that is that on the history of library. Now let's talk about the history of library in Nigeria. Okay, so before 1920, there were archives in the northern part of Nigeria where Islamic and Arabic documents were stored. Now, in 1920, the Lagos Book Club was established by foreigners. Then in 1932, this Lagos Book Club established the first public library in Lagos. Then in the year 1943, the British Council established a public library in Lagos and then in northern, southern, and mid Nigeria. Then in the year 1964, that is after our independence, the National Library was established. Before then, in the year 1948, the University of Ibadan Library was established, which became the first academic library or university library in Nigeria. So that is on the history of library in Nigeria. Now, there are major types of library. We have the school library, and school library are those type of library you find in school, like public school, primary school, or public secondary school, including private schools. Like that is for the primary and secondary school. Now we also have the public library, which is the library that is owned by the state. We have the special library, and this library are dedicated to keeping record and materials that are relevant to a special group or a particular field. Like let's say a library that is meant for agricultural materials alone, so or medical materials alone. So those are special library. Then we have private library that are for dedicated to special individuals or established by individuals. Then lastly, we have the academic library. The academic library are those we find in our universities, like we have in LASU too. Then recently with the development of technology, we have digital library, and you go online, you see that there are sites where you can actually get books and so, materials. Shey you get. So now all this library are categorized according to three major categorical division. Now the first one is they are categorized according to their ownership. Now, like the public or national library are owned by the state. Here, so that's how we categorize that, or their location, right? And also the kind of information that they have. For example, a special library could have an information on agriculture alone, and a public library might have general information. Now, a school library that we find in primary or secondary school might only contain textbooks and notes relevant to the study of the kids or the students rather. Okay, so that is how we actually categorize the library, through ownership, location, or information in which they have. So that is that on our introduction about library, the history of library, and then types and category at which we classify the library. In the next uh, audio visual we'll be uploading, we are going to talk more on introduction to library studies. Thank you so much for listening.